Whoops. Good morning, folks. Woo, that was a good one. Good morning. My name is Reverend Ed. I am the minister here at this beautiful place of love and hope and transformation we call Emerson. Thank you very much for coming to our semi-annual music service. We're very happy to have you here with us. We start our service here with a couple announcements for the congregation that are important for them to know. We have two folks who are going to do quick announcements. Whoops, what have we got going on here? So, Marcy, would you like to come and talk about the auction?
As you may know by now, our Life is a Cabaret party and silent auction finale is 2 weeks away. We are to the point where we really need to get a good head count so that we have enough food and beverage for everybody.
Oops.
We do have a QR code out front for you to sign up. If you need any help with that, please see me after the service. We have the silent auction has already begun. You've probably seen the bid sheets out in the gathering place. So go ahead and start signing up if you'd like to bid. In 2 weeks, on Saturday the 17th, we have our party and the finale for the silent auction. It's just going to be a fun party, no paddles, no pressure. So please join us.
Wonderful. Now Deborah Warching would like to speak to us about Facebook.
We are having a summer camp for children this summer, and we would love to have you, your children, your grandchildren come. We have hired a marketing team to help us market this. We've got 30 days to get enough families so we can move forward, and it's the last week in July. Go on to the church's Facebook page and click like, and I will be in the gathering place after the service if you have any questions about how do you get on to Facebook to click the like. Thank you.
Clicking like makes us more popular with Facebook. So the more like clicks there are, the higher up the chain we run. So today's service is called A New Hope, A New Song, because today is May the 4th. May the 4th be with you, which, do you understand the Star Trek joke? The Star Wars joke? Oh my God, Star Wars, stop. It was just a slip. The Star Wars joke. So today is the unofficial Star Wars Day. We have a wonderful arrangement of music and hope brought to you today by our wonderful choir, some guest singers, some guest performers. It is a virtual circus of music up here today, and we're very happy to have you. After service, we invite you for coffee in the gathering place, and after that, we invite you to come to lunch with us. We go today to Torchy's Taco, which is in the grocery store. The what? In Beck's Prime. Torchy's is in Beck's Prime? No, we're going to Beck's Prime. Oh, all right, Beck's Prime. If you are still a little new around here, we have a couple things for you. First is, today after services, we have the continuation of our Inquirers group, and everyone involved with the Inquirers group will be very happy that for the first time, I actually called it by its right name, the Inquirers group. That is happening after services 12:15, 12:30. Upstairs in 204, and we are talking about the liturgical year today, and the UU liturgical year and Emerson's liturgical year. You are welcome to come to that if that is of interest to you. Also, if you're a little new around here, we have the yellow cards in the back of the pews. If you are interested in knowing more about us and being on our mailing list so you know what is going on here, please fill out both sides of the yellow cards, and there are places you can put it, your card here and in the back during the offertory part of the service. And let's see, lastly, if something comes up for you, I don't think something, but if you want to talk to somebody about what's going on in your life or what's going on for you today as a result of the service, you will see our LPMT folks, our lay pastoral ministry team folks. They have yellow tags on. You can feel free to just walk up to one of them and let them know that you're here and let them know that you need to talk to someone. And that's it for the very wonderful announcements today. And let me introduce our first piece of music. What is saying? What? Oh no, they're going after yeah. As we gather in this space, let us open ourselves to the beauty and grace of music. Dance of the Blessed Spirits by Christoph Willibald Gluck invites us into a realm of serenity and peace where the Spirit dances in quiet joy. May the music remind us that even in the dark of times, there is always grace. What a joy it is to have Mem and Marilyn with us here to play harps today. Isn't that beautiful? I find that just so peaceful. Our music today spans a wide array of time, from Marilyn's flute and Marilyn's harp and Mim's flute all the way to electric guitars. We have a wide range today. And that is reflective of our open thought here and our open process in this church. It is also reflective of the open mission of this church, which just does so much. I don't know if you know this. I don't know, do you know this, that we teach ESL classes here? Are you aware of that? Do you know that every week, twice a week, up to 100 people fill the upstairs of this church to take ESL classes? It is a spectacular mission of this church. And I've asked a couple of the ESL participants to come and talk to us, and they said yes. So how wonderful is that? But more wonderful than that is our wonderful, and I'm using the word wonderful a lot, but that's the only word I can come up with, is our ESL steering committee. And it's a big committee, but representing that committee today, here to tell you what's going on with that committee, is, well, let me just put it this way. If you would look at the heart and the soul of this congregation, if you could see it, you would see people like Ian Sachs, who's here to tell you about the ESL program and our participants today.
Thank you, Reverend Dan. Good morning, everyone. My name is Ian Sachs, and I'm a member of the Emerson ESL Steering Committee, which leads our ESL program. Our classes are only at night right now on Tuesday and Thursday evenings from 6:30 until 8:30 p.m. And most of you don't have a chance to meet our wonderful students and volunteers or see our classes in action. And as Reverend Ed just mentioned, he brought up the point that we could do a much better job to build awareness and foster enthusiasm for our program, which is why we're here today. We are truly changing lives with our English classes and want to share our excitement with you. We thought a good way of doing this is for you to hear directly from some of our students and how learning English has impacted their lives. Our spring semester just ended last Thursday. We had 5 class levels with approximately 20 students registered in each class. This year, we serve students from 26 different countries. The teachers and support personnel are all volunteers, except for our part-time paid program coordinator. The volunteers who teach and act in other supporting roles always talk about how rewarding working with these students is. In order to pay the salary of the program coordinator and to purchase textbooks and supplies, we are always in need of money and more volunteers. We are in the middle of a UUA-sponsored fundraising drive entitled Faithify. The fund drive ends on May 14th, and if you're interested and able to donate and or want to volunteer to help in this exciting and worthwhile program, grab one of these ESL information notices that will be in the gathering place. Members of our steering committee will also be in the gathering place afterward to answer any questions. I would now like to introduce 2 of our students who are in our level 3 classes. Alba is from Honduras and Anna is from Ukraine. They have graciously agreed to talk with you today and give you some insight into how much impact our program and learning English has had on their lives.
Good morning. My name is Alba. My country of origin is Honduras, and I have been a U.S. citizen for 2 years, for which I am very grateful. And this would not have been possible without the support I received in learning English from this wonderful institution, which opened its doors to us without discrimination, with so much love and solidarity. I started English classes in 2019, starting at the basic level, and I reached level 3 thanks to the endless patience of all the volunteer teachers who have dedicated their time and wisdom to teaching us. Even in the midst of the pandemic, we were never abandoned. Learning a new language helps us understand the deep culture of a nation and its people, bringing us closer together without fear or prejudice. Learning about the culture of students from other countries has also been enriching, and it shows us that we are not alone in the world, that we all need each other, that we are all useful. Thank you for all your support. What you are doing is truly a wonderful mission. I promise to continue learning English step by step and with great enthusiasm, because it's never too late to learn. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Anna. I'm from Ukraine, and I have been living in the United States for almost 3 years. I'm a student in your English class program, and I'm so happy to be a part of it. Today, I want to say thank you from my heart, because there's more than just English class. Then I come in the United States, I knew few words. I couldn't even make sentence. What I want to say, our teachers is very patient and kind. Their support means so much. It helps us believe in ourselves. Here, I have made friends from different countries, and we speak English today. Studying here has given me confidence, and I hope I can become a part of the community. Thank you so much for this amazing opportunity.
Здравствуй. My name is Stephen, and I'd like to invite the inimitable, famed in stage and screen, Laurie Hammonds, to light our chalice flame this morning. As we light it here in the sanctuary, I invite those of you joining us from home to light a candle or chalice of your own. Please join me in reading these words together as they appear on your screen. Sir Richard Starkey, known publicly as Ringo Starr, is an English drummer and former member of that minuscule group, the Beatles. He is 84 years old, and these words come from his 2025 album and are entitled, Look Up. Up above your head, where the music plays, there's a light that shines in the darkest days. There's a burning fire leading through the haze. Look up. As we work together to create a beloved community, we welcome all who would come join us in building a better world with more love, more justice, and more peace. We welcome all who would join us in growing in mind, heart, and spirit. We welcome all who would join us in tearing down systems of oppression of all kinds. We welcome all who would join their purposes to ours in a loving spirit of right relationship. Please join me in our welcoming words. The words are on the screen. Whomever you are, wherever you find yourself on your life's journey, whichever your pronouns, whether you've walked in or rolled in or dialed in, whomever you love, you are welcome here. It is important to recognize to acknowledge that our history is a shared and harmful one. Our congregation's buildings are situated on home of the Karankawa and the Atakapa peoples for at least 2,000 years, who lived here for at least 2,000 years before European settlers arrived and very nearly brought about their end. May we recognize, uplift, and support indigenous voices and communities in our work as a congregation.
Our opening words today are by Don Cooley, called "Into the World Singing." Let us go out into the world singing. Let us go out into the world singing songs that proclaim liberty, songs that turn ashes into garlands, songs that bind up the afflicted and those who mourn, songs that, like oaks, have roots that go deep and stand strong. Let us go out into the world singing. We know these songs. They vibrate through time in our very souls. They are the songs that give us life. They are the songs that give us meaning. They are the songs that give us purpose. Now it's our turn to take these life-giving songs out into the world. Let us go now, singing these songs with voices deep and strong, and may the world join us in praise and in celebration and in love. Amen. And now, with our chalices lit and our hearts and minds centered, we invite you to join our voices in celebration by singing a hymn. You may stand if you are comfortable doing so, or you may stay seated, but please help us raise our voices and sing. We are singing one tune, but the text from two different hymns. So the first verse is going to be 159, the first verse of This Is My Song, and then we're going to jump to 318. You don't have to jump, though, because it's all going to be here, to We Would Be One, where we do 1 and 2 verses, okay? Thank you.
I'm Jill Rose, and many of you know that I love children's stories. So when Julia asked if I would choose a story for all ages based on Music Sunday, Star Wars, A New Hope, A New Song, I picked a very old, very simple, very short book, The Carrot Seed, by Ruth Krauss, with pictures by Crockett Johnson. It way predates Star Wars, and there's not a bit of music in it, so why The Carrot Seed? Well, as I read the story, think about where you might find its relevance. I do acknowledge that you won't have much time to think about it. However, this is not a pop quiz. At the end of the story, I have a couple of takeaways that I will share. So here is the story. It's a charming book. A little boy planted a carrot seed. His mother said, "I'm afraid it won't come up." His father said, "I'm afraid it won't come up." His big brother said, "It won't come up." Every day, the little boy pulled up the weeds around the seed and sprinkled the ground with water. But nothing came up. And nothing came up. Everyone kept saying, "It won't come up." But he still pulled up the weeds around it every day and sprinkled the ground with water. And then one day, a carrot came up, just as the little boy had known it would. So my thoughts about this book and why I chose it is I see this very short story as a metaphor for hope. So it addresses half of today's service title, A New Hope. The germ of a seed is the tiny plant embryo inside the seed that will grow into the plant, thus germination. We may also talk about the germ of an idea from which a larger idea may develop. In each step along the way, consider this very small seed, not just as a carrot seed, but as a symbol of the boy's hope for it. And although everyone in the boy's family dismisses his belief that the carrot would grow, the boy continued to tend the seed. It appeared his family was right, but he continued to nurture the seed. He had hope. The second lesson of this story for me is that hope is not passive. The boy did not sit around and wait for someone else to make the carrot seed grow. He didn't expect anyone else to fix it. He did the work himself. Although everyone discouraged him, he continued the work of tending the seed even when there was no sign of growth and his efforts appeared useless. He did not give up. Hope is active. And ultimately, the carrot that grew from the tiny carrot seed far exceeded any possible expectations or initial hopes. So, let us not become discouraged when the results of our hopes are not immediately seen. Let us continue to tend our dreams even through disappointment, staying hopeful that our dreams will grow like the boy's carrot, maybe like the boy's carrot even beyond our own expectations. Every day, doing the work of keeping our hopes alive with intention and with care. The carrot seed.
When we stand together, we create a foundation of hope for our children, a place where they can grow, thrive, and become the change we wish to see in the world. The next song, Found Tonight, reminds us of the power of unity, that when we unite, our collective strength becomes a force capable of shaping a brighter future for all, especially for those who follow in our footsteps.
Our glory, but I will gladly join the fight. And when our children tell their story, they'll tell the story of tonight. They'll tell the story of tonight. Tonight. Have you ever felt like nobody was there? Have you ever felt forgotten in the middle of nowhere? Have you ever felt like you could disappear? Like you could fall and no one would hear? Well, you need a friend to carry you. When you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let the sun come streaming in, 'cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. If you only look around, you will be found. And when our children tell their stories, you will be found. They'll tell the story of tonight. Oh, no matter what they tell you, tomorrow there'll be more of us telling the story of tonight. The story of tonight.
Even the smallest gifts planted in hope can grow into something beautiful. Emerson collects an offering each week, like many other communities of faith. But our offerings are not for our church, which is supported by annual pledges by our members. We collect our Sunday offering to give to others because we know that giving is both a transformative spiritual act and an important way to live our values. 75% of our May Share the Plate recipient, Mental Health America, MHA, of Greater Houston goes to them. Since 1954, MHA has worked under the premises that mental health is a key to well-being and impacts our success in work, play, learning, and leisure. The foundation of our work is focused on unlocking the human potential to live well. We help individuals access care, support workplace mental health, advocate for policy changes, assist veterans, educate the community, and promote mental health in schools. The remaining 25% of the offering will go to Interfaith Ministries Meals on Wheels, which provides thousands of meals every day to Houston's homebound seniors. You can go to our website for on-page giving, or put cash or check in our offering baskets. They're located, I think, over here and in the back of the church. Or you can mail a check to the church. During the offering, music, children who want to attend their RE classes may make their way to their classrooms. Thank you.
Hello, my name's Ariel Dusatel. I'm your staff singer. As we move forward with our next selection, you get to hear To a Wild Rose with Mim and Marilyn. This is by Edward McDowell. As we listen to A Wild Rose, let us reflect on the quiet strength of the rose itself. Soft in its petals, delicate in its beauty, yet beneath the surface, it is protected by sharp thorns, a symbol of resilience and the fierce protection of what is precious. In the same way, we too carry both gentleness and strength within us, finding ways to bloom and protect our hearts, even in the most difficult times.
It's okay. You can clap. Wonderful. I have we should have called the Guinness Book of World Records, because 5 flutes, 2 harps. When has that ever happened before? 5, and now an electric guitar and a bass guitar and a ginormous drum. This is some music here, isn't it? It's wide-ranging, it's beautiful, it comes from the heart. Julia asked me, when she was arranging this service, she said, Reverend Ed, we need a little homily, just 5-6 minutes. Could you possibly preach about how your personal journey with music and hope and Star Trek all comes together? And I said, oh, sure. Doesn't everyone just have a sermon about how music and Star Trek and hope, and what was the other one? And the Force. Yeah, that's it. I'm listening to her on the phone and I start writing it down. I'm like, oh, hell, why bother? I'm not doing that. I don't think I could do that if I wanted to. But thank you for the inspiration. I'm very inspired sitting here listening to this music today. And I'm thinking back. And if you would, come back with me on a journey. And I'll tell you my spiritual journey with music in 5 minutes or less, involving Star Trek, the Force, Star Wars, I did it again, Star Wars, and hope, and the Force. But you have to come back with me, 1977. It's 1977, and I'm driving past a place that none of you have been to before, the Bedford Mall in Bedford, New Hampshire. On the side of the road, they have a big sign, and there's 4 theaters in there, which was a big deal in 1977. 4 theaters, and one of the theaters is playing a movie called Star Wars. I'm 11 years old, and culturally unconnected. I still pretty much am. Culturally disconnected. I don't even know what is going on. I don't know about the movie at all, but it's got the word war in it. And my father loves war movies. I know my father loves war movies because we went to see Midway, the old Midway with Charlton Heston. Remember that one? Right? You're nodding your heads. Does everybody remember Midway? That was a good movie. The 2019 version's better. But that movie with Admiral Halsey and Admiral Nimitz, great movie, right? And my father and I had gone to see it, and we didn't do that very often, so it was a memorable event. So when I saw Star Wars, I thought to myself, well, that's something we can do. And my father's like, oh no, I don't want to do that. Because to my father, the point of the art, the point of the movie, was to reproduce something that was real. The Battle of Midway was real. It was real to my father because he was not there, but he was in the South Pacific at the time. So the point of the movie was the bringing to life of something that was real. We see this in art, right? The reproduction type art, right? Art that's supposed to look just like something else. Art that's supposed to feel like something else. Movies that were supposed to represent something that was real, something that was true, like a landscape or a still art. It was still life, they call it, still life, something like that. The problem for my father with Star Wars was that it didn't represent anything, because that war never happened. It was all imaginary. The thing with Star Wars, did it again, the thing with Star Wars, don't laugh at me, is that it does represent something really real, but you have to dig down under it to get the feeling for it, to get the understanding of it. You have to let it flow through you. Until this point, roughly this point in my life, music was my father's music for me. My father loved big band, easy listening music. The Billy Vaughn Orchestra was one of his favorites. He had a whole record collection and a stereo system that was wired through the house so that you could hear the music loudly anywhere. This awful music was pervasive in our home. My father loved it, and I, as a young musician, reproduced it. There was no feeling in it for me. I didn't even know I didn't like it. I didn't think I had an option. I didn't know that liking music was one of my choices. I was just reproducing what I had heard. Lawrence Welk blasted. Myron Florin. Applause from the living room for Myron Florin. That was my life. Until one day, the age of 11, which is about 1977 for me, I did what so many young people did at the time. I took a very tiny piece of Scotch tape and I taped a penny to a card, and I mailed the card in somewhere, and someone mailed me back 6 albums. Do you remember this? Yeah, you're all nodding, right? You all did it, didn't you, right? You get 6 free albums. You also got a whole bunch of albums that weren't free that you didn't really want, but I figured that out later. Melissa Manchester, whoever that was. And then one day, in 1978, the spring of 1978, every young boy in America who did not mail back their card to say, please don't send me the album of the month, which is to say, every young boy in America who had joined this record service, we all got, roughly on the same day, the same album. And we all took that cassette, or we all took that record, and we put the cassette in the box, and we pressed play. And what we heard was this. And at that moment, our lives changed. Because all of a sudden, music wasn't something we just reproduced. It was something that flowed through us. Music, we had never heard. Nobody had ever heard anything like that. Now, that's old-fashioned now. That's 50 years old. But at the time we all pushed that button, no one had ever heard anything like that before. And then everybody started to reproduce it, and it sort of lost its soul. But at that moment in time, you could hear the music flowing through the soul of Eddie Van Halen. And music changed. It became part of us. We became not the reproducers of it, but the conduit of it. And it's almost like it came from God. And at that moment, I stopped playing Lawrence Welk cold turkey. I couldn't do it anymore. I got paid to play Lawrence Welk songs. I could play every polka in the book. French people wanted these 12 songs. The Polish people wanted these 12 songs. The Jewish people wanted these 12 songs. They were all the same 12 songs. And I hated them all after a while. But now I saw them for what they were. They were someone else's heart and someone else's soul, and I needed to find my own. And where I found it was in music. So there's your sermon.
Well, okay, so choir, I guess we're going to have to cut that Lawrence Welk song we prepared. Sorry. Just kidding. While our band gets set up, because that was also perfect, Reverend Ed, to get us into our next song. This song is called Compliance by the band Muse. I am sort of obsessed with this band for many reasons, but as you all probably know about me, is I used to be an opera singer. It's interesting, Reverend Ed, you talked about how you didn't know you couldn't like something. Not that my parents ever told me I wasn't allowed to like anything, but I kind of grew up with classical music, and I do love classical music. But through the years, especially after I had kids and I retired from singing on the stage, I realized that I wanted to find out more. I wanted more variety. I want to know more. And that's also what this program, this entire day is all about, is that we're just, all music has a purpose. All music speaks to some of us, any of us, and all music has a thing to say. So, without getting too much longer with this, I just want to give a little blurb about Compliance, because it is a very different song than what you've been hearing. It speaks to the subtle and insidious ways power can ask for our obedience, not with threats, but with promises of safety and ease and just going along. And yet, by putting this message into music, Muse resists that very pull. Compliance becomes more than a warning. It becomes an act of defiance. Music like this doesn't just describe resistance, it is resistance. It shakes us awake. It helps us name the systems that bind us. And it reminds us that even in a world that whispers, comply, we can still choose to raise our voices, to question, to hope, to resist, and to sing.
You will feel no pain.
Thank you so much, AJ Giles, and Lydia Benham, and Craig on drum, and Artem on harpsichord. And of course, our lovely choir. So, let's go ahead and now join us in singing our closing hymn while I take a breath. Whew. We're doing, in the Teal hymnal, hymn 1015, I Know I Can, verses 1, 2, and 4. Everyone else stand. Thank you. Please stand.
Can we just, for a moment, say thank you to Julia, who put this all together, get all these musicians here, said, yeah, we can do a modern pop song on a harmonica. What the hell's that thing? Harpsichord, on some Star Trek thrown in. Yes. Julia, thank you very much for an inspiring and wonderful morning. And to everybody who sang, to our guest singers who are here today, thank you so much. Artem, thank you for being the floor and the root for us here. And to Craig and to our guest musicians. I didn't know you played the flute. I didn't know you played the flute. Look at you. It's a remarkable group of people. It's a wonderful group of people. I'm very happy to be here today, and thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. And now, I would like to ask Lori to extinguish our chalice. And as she does that, Julia has found these words for me to read for you as a benediction. I'd like to do that. It's called The Sun. The song goes with us, and we don't know who wrote it, which kind of is sexy in a way. As we extinguish this flame, may we carry its light with us, a hope stronger than fear, a love deeper than sorrow, a courage greater than despair. May the music we have shared today be the force that moves us forward, a melody of justice, a rhythm of resilience, and a harmony of hope. Go now with the song still in your heart, and may its light guide you always. And now we move with the music and the force that bind us and lifts us and leads us on And may we all say together in gratitude, Amen. Amen. Come, let them come. Oh, sorry,